of what the room looks like. But we are set up good enough where we can start painting again. Will cause issues. So if the stencils but I like to make sure that they stay. Important detail. But I really hope y'all liking my videos. Hey everybody, we are back. I've got everything set up finally where I can paint. I'm not 100% set up. Still got things to work on. You'll probably see a video at the end of this one, or a clip, whatever you want to call it, showing kind of what the room looks like. But we are set up good enough where we can start painting again, and it's a little process to get the room finished. But I do appreciate everyone waiting, hanging out, and just kind of being patient with me. So, that being said, let's get to painting. Woohoo! Alright. Hopefully we can keep everything in camera here. So, got a little different setup today. Hopefully I can keep everything right there. Put some tape on that base. That might help slow its wiggle down. So I'm gonna try and get us another video. Got a 168 S-Wave. Put a little tape on the base of my phone holder here, maybe to slow its wiggle down some. Maybe. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, much more solid, y'all. Alright, like I said, I don't cut anything out or anything like that, so y'all get to see all the wonders here. But I had this lure painted once already. I'm going to do the same pattern back on it, but I figured I'd show y'all the process of me painting it. It was really cool. The reason I had to strip it was after I painted it and everything, I got done with it, and I sprayed a varnish over it, and I didn't let it dry all the way. And when I went to take it off the helping hands, I put my hand on it like this, and it just, it just pulled all the paint. Completely destroyed the pattern. So we're going to have to redo it. It still has the base coat on it. I put a clear base coat, which is the 4004 transparent base by Createx. It is their Autoborn colors. It's actually one of their Autoborn sealers, I believe. But even though it's a transparent base, it makes a really good clear primer. So the first thing we're going to put on is, this will be a bone white base color. So I got the bone white in the Bloodline. And get it all shook up. Make sure my airbrush is ready to go. I'm just going to do a complete coat of bone white on the whole lure. Definitely try to get inside the joints. You don't have to be perfect, but you definitely want to get some paint up in there. honestly think the first time I did this, part of the problem was I got too heavy of a base coat and I didn't let it dry all the way. Because that can be an issue. That is one thing about the illustrated line. You don't want to go too heavy all at once. You want to build it. If you put a really heavy first layer, it seems like it takes it a long time to dry and really cure in. Now swap the colors out on the airbrush. But I used a different airbrush last time to apply the base coat, and it puts out a lot bigger spray, a lot more volume, and I think that might have been part of it. I had too much on there at one time, and so the more you have on there, obviously, the longer it takes for it to, I ain't gonna say cure, but to dry. And I think that might have been part of the issue. You know, if it wasn't the issue, it definitely didn't help. Now, I did learn a little trick from another painter on YouTube here. Have a little, which he used alcohol, I just used water. Just a little sponge in a jar to kind of help clean the tip off. Just put it straight in there, don't drag it so you don't bend your tip. That's all I'm doing, just tapping it in there. Definitely helps out. And of course, I set it outside the camera. There we go. I gotta remember to keep setting it right there. And now we'll set that paint to the side. And I do a chartreuse tail, which I'm not doing a hole. It's going to be kind of a slanted spray. I'm really hoping, really need that paint to come in. I'm using the fluorescent chartreuse by Golden High Flow. Make sure that's in the camera. Looks like it is. This is one of my favorite, as far as a fluorescent yellow, is this chartreuse by Golden. It just has one of the best colors, I think. Well, you know, no matter what you put it over, it just seems to be a really good color. Now we are going to dry this or cure it a little bit. Oh yeah, that is much better. Already starting out better. I do think I had too much build on the first one, because the first time I did this, the paint was smooth, but you could feel like a texture on the paint even though it was smooth. This is smooth, it feels smooth, so we're definitely heading on the right path. So that's all we're going to do on the tail. The next color we're going to pull up will be, I believe I used a pearl purple last time. We can get this all taken care of here. Swap my color back out. Now, I didn't want to go with a natural pattern. I wanted to go with something different. Because sometimes your natural patterns, they just don't work, and you need something to create that reaction. So I just kind of come up with this color scheme, kind of just out of the top of my head in one night. Couldn't even tell you what made me think of it, what inspired it, because I really don't know. Okay, one more washout. Check my tip, make sure ain't nothing up in there. Looks like it's clean. Every now and then I like to just make sure that there's no little hard bits getting up in the tip, because a single piece of dried paint will cause issues. I do have a little bit in there, so let's get that worked out. get this other needle. Ooh, that's a really hard piece. We're getting it out. And what I use to clean my tips out is any old fine needles that's gotten bent and messed up. That's what I use to keep around to help clean my tips out. There we go. I said every now and then you might get a little bit stuck up in there. We had some good storms last night, and I might have not cleaned my brush out as good as I should have. I'm probably pretty certain that that's part of why I got a little bit of dry paint in there. There we go. I said it happens from time to time. It's just kind of nature of the beast. So, put a little bit of water in there, spray it through, make sure everything is still good. Oh yeah. Alright, so now, where's my pearl purple? So, I have a couple of different ones. I think I got these two here. Got an iridescent purple, and then I've got a pearl electric purple. I think we're going to use the electric purple. Stay there. I used the iridescent one last time, but I think this one's going to do a better job of what I was going for. Let me zoom out here. That way y'all can see more of what's going on. Oh, that's in. Ta-da! I do hope y'all are enjoying my videos. I try and make them interesting for y'all. And informative. Kind of talk through my process. I know some of y'all have made comment that you like hearing my thought process, even though it's kind of scattered sometimes. And I know I am. A little bit of flow improver and reducer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to give it just a little extra reducing since it is a little bit thick. And I reduce, by eyeball. I don't have a particular formula because temperature of the paint, different paints have different thicknesses. It all comes into play. So I just reduce it till I get the consistency I'm looking for, which is along the lines of cold milk. There we go. That seems to always work pretty good for me. Once I get it flowing in the container, and it kind of resembles cold milk, It usually does pretty good for me. Let's hope it doesn't make a liar out of me today. All right, we'll zoom back in. Ah! Sorry about that, y'all. Just hit the tripod. Get y'all aimed back at. Sorry about that. There we go. Now don't do that again, Danny. So we're just gonna go along the spine and bring it down the shoulders just a little bit. Make sure y'all can see it. We got that part. That color sprayed out. I really like the way that purple turns out, especially over bone. Go. All right. Now we are going to put a quick coat of some 4050 UVLS to kind of help protect it from any stencil work I do. Actually, then we're going to put that transparent base back over it. That seemed to do really good. As a base coat. So we're going to try it again. The 4050, it does just as well. I just don't need that glossy finish right now. Because the 4050, I have the 4050 UVLS in its gloss, and I just need a protective coat. It don't have to be glossy right now, because I still got some paint to put on. And even though the layers underneath are not glossy, maybe, the clear coat still brings a gloss to it, so it doesn't seem to affect it. You can also use this 4004 base, transparent base, to help carry, to help make paints transparent. You can use it to carry tones. You can add just a little bit of paint to it or candy and just tone it. Get that ran out. This airbrush has a little smaller needle. It is having a little bit of issue spraying that. I want to say it's like a 0.2 needle. So I'm going to get this one cleaned out really quick and then swap airbrushes, and we'll be right back. Alright, y'all. We're back. I got the airbrushes swapped out. Got a new batch of the 4004 transparent base mixed up. So let's get it base coated again. And I said all that is just a coat to help protect the lure from any of the edges of the stencil work that I'm getting ready to do. So if the stencils happen to touch it or anything like that, it's less likely to scratch the paint. Not saying that it will keep it from happening, but it's less likely. And it can sometimes add a little bit of depth once you clear coat it. It kind of helps the colors look like they're setting, you know, like the details on this might look like they're floating or setting on top of the paint instead of just all one layer. Kind of helps give it some depth and character. We are going to let that just naturally dry. I have found that trying to speed up the drying process on protective coats like that can cause issues sometimes. So we're definitely not going to do that. And the issues that it will cause sometimes is they start cracking and peeling. Oh, come on. There we go. And we don't want any of that on this particular lure. So we're going to let that dry. And then once that dries, we're going to come back to it and we're going to start doing some stencil work. All right. Now it's dry. Make sure y'all got a good view on that. Zoom in a little. All right, now the first color we're going to put down is going to be a silver tone. We're just going to use a textured freehand stencil, and we're just going to set it up here on the body. We're just going to spray this main portion here with some silver. We got a little bit of silver mixed up. Don't need a whole lot. And in all honesty, unless you're doing like the whole base color, you really don't need a lot of paint at any given time. And this stuff really doesn't need a whole lot of reducing. It's odd. This one comes out a little thick, but it sprays really well even though it's thick. It's just the character of this particular paint brand. It's one my wife got me for Christmas a couple years ago. Not really a known name. It's yeah, I can't pronounce that. Fans or Arashi. I figure she got it off of Amazon or something, I'm not sure. But it's a pretty usable airbrush paint. I said it does seem thick, but even though it's thick, it still sprays pretty good with minimal reducing. Again, let's hope it doesn't make a liar out of me today. There we go. Because all we're doing here is creating a little bit of flash detail. I got a couple of different sizes of them freehand textures. I'll put a little bit in the gill plate. don't know if y'all can see that on the camera or not. Hopefully you can. And that's all we're going to do with the silver. I said just a real simple, minor detail, but it really makes a big difference. Helps add a little bit of flash to the lure. I got all the silver sprayed out. Now we're going to go ahead and leave the silver in the mixing dish. Now we're going to mix our black detail. And what that silver will do that's left in the mixing dish will just add a little bit of a sparkle to the black, not a whole lot. We are going to put a little bit of flow improver with this black. It usually does pretty good, but sometimes it can get a little finicky. I don't know if you can see it or not in the camera, but there's a little bit of sparkle in that black. Just a little extra detail. I do think most fishing lures benefit from just a little bit of a sparkle. Now we're going to take this freehand detail, and we're just going to work along the shoulders. Turn my air pressure down. I just bumped the camera. do the other side. And that's one thing to remember with your chartreuse or any fluorescent paints. If you really want to make them pop and stand out, you need to get a hard contrast color with them. You don't need bright on bright, then they'll kind of dull down. If you put a really dark color next to a fluorescent, it would make the fluorescent pop real hard. Work with me, Lure. Work with me. Make sure I'm still in camera. We're going to try and get down the spine. Some of the smaller stipple dots. Tip dryer going on there. Now we're going to shade the face a little bit. But see how that darker color helps that chartreuse to really pop? Getting this black out of the airbrush. Black and white always take forever to spray out. We'll get this sprayed out, y'all, and then I'll give y'all a close up. We might add a couple little top coat effects. Get that drained out. Sorry, y'all. I know y'all don't want to just sit there and listen to me and watch clean out all my stuff, but I do clean as I go. Find it's just easier that way. I don't like having a whole bunch of mixing dishes I got clean when I'm done. I'd rather just clean the one as I go and use the same one over and over. Not that there's anything wrong doing it the other way, it's just I don't like doing it that way. Now we are going to hit this with just a little bit of heat. Kind of make sure all them details are there. I said a little bit. You don't want to add too much heat to it. Now, we're going to do a little test touch. Okay, yeah, everything's good and set. So now we can do another coat of, yeah, words are hard. I done lost my words. 4004 transparent base. After I sign it. Where did I put my pen? Moved a lot of things yesterday. I'm still in the process of organizing this paint room. There's my pen. Hit that with a little bit of heat because that is an ink brush. said, we're going to get some of that transparent base. We're going to put another protective coat over it. It'll lock everything in. If I can get the cap off the edge. Just helps lock everything in. Like I said, it does help create depth. Okay. Alright, I'm going to clean this brush out, y'all, and then we'll come right back. Alright, folks, we got the tail in it. I think we're going to call this one done. I'm getting the eyes locked in right now. The way I do that is I use a really thin UV epoxy, usually for fly tying. I put a thin bead of it around the very outer edge. That way when I clear coat these, the eyes are 100% locked in. And they should not pop out. The clear coat usually does a pretty good job at holding them in. Especially these particular eyes stick really good. But I like to make sure that they stay. If the eyes ever do come out on one of my lures, it takes a little bit to make it happen. I'm not going to say that they can't, because there's always a chance. But I definitely do my best to eliminate the possibility of it. To some people, the eyes are a very small detail. For me, the eyes are a very important detail on the lure. I think the wrong eyes can completely destroy a lure. That's just my opinion. So, let me get y'all down off of here and we'll get a closer look at it. Alright, here's what we have. Like I said, this is a 168 S-Waver. Custom paint job. I think that's going to make someone a beautiful glide bait. It will get clear coated this weekend. You can see there that minor gray detail is a very important detail. At least to me it is. It might be very subtle, but without it, it would just be kind of blah. I didn't put it in the tail section because I want the chartreuse in the black to be the life of the tail. Figured I'd end the video by giving y'all a quick little sneak peek on this paint room. I can see a floor finally. As you can tell, I've got this all set up where I can spray. Still got some organizing to do, and there's where I put the tape on the phone holder. And working on getting some new cabinets put over here to kind of get everything a little bit better organized. It is a total mess right now, but we will get that fixed. And yeah, don't ask, that was a very interesting day with the paint. But I really hope y'all liking my videos. I really do appreciate everyone's support, the comments. Everyone's opinion does matter to me as far as, you know, what you want to see, stuff like that. It does help to have ideas from y'all. So, if you're not subscribing, please subscribe. Like and follow. Hit the little bell notification so you get notifications for my videos when I do put them up. And I will catch y'all next time.